What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the E30. We've been doing a lot of things to it lately and it's in its second stage of life. So we ended up pulling the motor out and I know what you guys are thinking. We literally just got it running pretty solid. I was finally able to drive it, but two things happened. One, I started having regrets on everything that I did to the car. I really wanted to shave the engine bay, paint it, and two, I made a pin-sized hole inside the oil pan because the oil pan sits so low. Luckily, I caught it really soon, so I just drove it back to the shop, figured out that it was a crack. At that point, I decided, you know what? I think I'm gonna pull it and just redo the whole thing over. And I'm glad I did because I'm doing a lot of things better. This is the E30, literally all taken apart again. I know, it looks like how I did a year ago, but we've also been working on the M52, and I didn't want to do a video pulling it out because we already did that. The M52 pretty much stripped it down further than I ever have. Martin and I cleaned everything up, we painted it, and we painted the timing cover, which looks really good. This engine is gonna look gnarly. And Steph also bought me some equal length headers, which look super sick. So this motor, just from a standpoint, is actually coming together really well. I'm not gonna be rebuilding it. The motor's really good. Everything's holding up, including the oil pump nut. So I'm gonna leave it, but I am gonna be shortening up the oil pan, which obviously is needed because the car is super low. There's something that I really wanted to do to this motor that I've never really seen on M50s. I know I've seen them on JZs, SRs, lowriders, big blocks, Chevys, stuff like that. But I sent off a couple of pieces to go get some bling bling. And that's what Martin's gonna be showing you because we picked it up today. Everything's nicely wrapped.
This is the...
Ooh, baby.
So pretty much just chromed everything out.
I wanted to add a pop in the engine bay, so I decided to send off a bunch of pieces to go get chromed out, including the engine mount arms, which look amazing. They did a really good job considering this is all cast aluminum. They have a lot of issues with the moldings. You know, you can see a lot of imperfections, but look at that. That looks insanely good. We got a bunch of pieces, including the harmonic balancer, which didn't get fully redone because some of it's rubber, obviously. So we are going to have to paint the inside, but look at the outside. Flip it over. This is nuts. This looks so good. That one you're definitely going to see because it's the thermostat housing. This was a super cheap Euro thermostat housing, just cast aluminum like I said. While Martin starts unwrapping everything, I want to give you guys a little rundown on what I'm planning for the M52 and E30. So I want to shave the engine bay and paint it. It's gonna look really good. I want to try to make this car show quality, and obviously that's going to take a lot of work and a lot of money, which is why I haven't really been uploading videos on this car specifically. Been trying to stack that cash, you know? That's gonna be done inside. I wanna repaint the whole car, redo a lot of things, but the overall design, I'm still gonna keep the work equips. I'm still gonna keep the fitment, the stance. This car looks mint for an early model. And with the M52, I've been actually thinking about going different routes. I did show you the headers that Stephanie bought me, but Martin and Jeremiah were talking to me, trying to convince me to go turbo. And honestly, I'm thinking about it, but I want to do it in a way that's super simple and super clean. And I know I can figure it out and do it. It's just a lot more work and a lot more money. Like I said, I think it's more aesthetics over performance for this car. That looks good, bro. I'm so happy I went this route. Obviously, we haven't put it on to kind of see how everything's gonna look, but
So much better.
check this out, guys. I actually sent off the bolts and nuts for the valve cover, which is gonna look gnarly because that's something I've always wanted to do to kind of make it pop. There's gonna be a rubber grommet, but you kind of get the picture of how it's gonna look. It complements the black and chrome look that I'm going for on this car. I think what we're gonna do now is we're gonna be test fitting all the chrome pieces on the motor. I'm not gonna be bolting everything on right away. I hit up my boy Downstar to see if we can get some bolts and nuts for this so we can actually make it look really, really good.
You could tell all this, I don't know what this is. I guess the old plating.
Yeah, for some reason they weren't able to chrome this, obviously for a certain reason. While I'm trying to put everything on, Martin's going to be sanding this piece down. We're going to be taping up the chrome and painting it black just so it gives it that nice clean look. Because you're obviously going to see this. You might not see it inside.
You got a little bit of chrome on the rubber.
Yeah.
So I'll tape this off that way.
Yeah, because there's a rubber insulation, so they obviously didn't want to chrome that inside.
Easy work. We'll do what they couldn't do.
Not everything is on, but I'm trying to mock up everything to kind of see how it looks. And it's starting to look pretty wild. There is a couple of things that I want to send out to get chromed as well. You can see how shiny the chrome is compared to everything else. These bolts are gonna look really good once they're all set up and complete. We have Martin outside painting the harmonic balancer. Probably gonna have to remove this pulley to get it back there, but damn, dude, that looks really good. There's a few spots on the engine that I'm getting ideas for, whether it's to paint it black, clean it up, or chrome. Going to look gnarly once everything is all complete. While we're waiting for everything to dry up, there's another piece to install today, or at least mock up for the most part. It's going to be fuel related. I am gonna be converting my fuel system to AN fittings. I want it to really look good and I want it to support a lot of power. I really want everything else aside from the motor to be overkill, just in case I decide to go full send on it, because like I said, I'm kind of just all over the place with this thing, trying to figure out what's going to be the best option. This is the stock M52 fuel rail. They work perfectly fine. They have a tap right here to check fuel pressure. Everything works good. Even these injectors are really good from factory. I went over to the boys over at Nuke Performance to pick up a new fuel rail, and this thing looks insane. This is all billet aluminum. They make
made Sweden.
probably the best stuff, bro. They make really, really high quality things.
Ooh.
Can't get mad at them, bro. We do that all the time. Look at that.
It looks very familiar.
Fuel rail, baby. Looks very familiar because the fuel rail you're running on this thing is gonna look gnarly.
It's also
Billet, yeah.
billet.
So we're gonna be transferring over the injectors to this. I don't need super high flow injectors right now, so these will do. But we're gonna be transferring over so we can actually mock it up and put it on the intake manifold. I already mocked up the fuel rail. Obviously I need to bolt up the brackets to hold everything down. But one thing that I'm noticing that might be an issue, this guy right here, which is the breather that goes to BMW's little catch can or CCV, crankcase ventilation. And you can see that it's pretty close to hitting.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a fix. There's like a 90-degree that I could run going down, run the fuel line underneath to kind of hide everything. That's something I'll probably talk to Germ, see maybe, you know, he could think of anything. But that's something that we're probably gonna have to figure out. This is all brand new too. I literally just bought this when I got the car running. But you can see when it goes in a decent amount, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. It just depends.
We might be able to get a 90 for this.
That one just goes down with it right next to it. Martin did a fabulous job painting the inside. And obviously we were too impatient to let it properly dry, so we put it on. But we didn't put it all the way on, so it doesn't mark anything. But dude, this thing looks crazy. Just with the little chrome touches, it just makes everything pop. I just can't wait once everything's cleaned up, dialed in, and installed. I definitely agree with Marian on the throttle body part. I think we're gonna be either painting it, sending it off to get powder coated or something, or chroming it out. I'm kind of just rambling thoughts in my head, trying to figure out what we're gonna be doing. But another piece that I bought, since I have a bunch of pieces inside the E30 that I haven't shown you, I ended up going with some rev shift mounts. And from experience, from other people, friends that have told me that I've run these, they are awesome, and these are the softest ones, so they're like OEM plus. So I think it's going to be a really nice upgrade, and they're black. So it's gonna look really good when I install them on the chrome arms. And I'll probably send off the whole subframe to get powder coated. All the suspension is gonna be redone in the front. So this is another upgrade that I bought that should be good. However, for people that don't really care about vibrations and want a cheaper motor mount setup, I have the Condor ones still available, so hit me up. I'll probably put them on the Static Garage parts page and a couple of other 830 things. If you guys don't know who Downstar is, the guy I mentioned previously, he makes dress-up bolts. He sends a bunch of nuts and bolts to a bunch of YouTubers, TJ Hunt, Jimmy Oaks, I think Adam Alzi. He's actually local. I've known him for years, so I might go to him to go pick up some nice titanium bolts. We're gonna freshen this engine bay up really nice, and stuff like this can be freshened up. I still have the oil filter housing that's not installed. I want to paint that. We can't have that chromed. I already asked, because obviously you can't dip it if there's internal oil pieces inside. So I'm probably gonna have to paint that later, probably next week when I have time. This thing is kind of at the point where it's all over. It's just kind of there, but not really. Like, there's just so much things to do and I don't even know where to start, so I'm keeping it with just the motor. The engine bay shave and all that stuff can wait a little bit, but On that note, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
No one ever really dies. T threw a rack in the sky. She threw it back from the side. I was just losing my mind. You right here telling me